Welcome to the Imperfect Dads Podcast. This is your host, Devin. We believe dads care deeply about their family and kids, but they don't always have a space to discuss what their life looks like. Our podcast is a space for dads to discuss the ups and downs of fatherhood and how they feel like they're holding it together or how they're not. Thank you for joining us for this episode. This podcast is part of the Never a Face Network. Make sure to follow them on Instagram or go to the website neverafacenetwork.com. On this episode, we have on Brian from Jet Fuel Artistry. We talked about how kids keep you humble, teaching your kids to say truth but nicely, being Poppa Brian to his girlfriend's twin daughters, having a son with autism, spending a lot of time at Chuck E. Cheese with his son, postpartum depression, finding out he was bipolar and getting medicated correctly, going to therapy, mental health, and his time in artist management and what started his journey with that. Brian said multiple times in this episode, if you're a dad and you're experiencing depression or postpartum depression or need someone to talk about that reality for you, you aren't alone and he's here for you. And also, I am too. So you aren't alone is rarely talked about. And if you feel like you need help, it's really important to know you aren't alone in it and just talk to someone about it. So I'm here, Brian's here, you're not alone. Just like one more thing.
Dad, just start the episode.
Oh, my bad. Since I'm a homemaker or stay-at-home parent, I don't spend a lot of time on computers like I used to. So sometimes I get confused of like, where's my mouse right now? And it's just over here. It's just over there.
Yeah. No, I do the same because I have like a home office, but it's in my bedroom, but it's being occupied right now. So like I'm out here in the dining area, but I do have a dual screen. So I do the same thing. I'm like, wait, where am I?
What am I?
Yeah.
It's great how many opportunities there. One thing that always like confuses me about parenting is when people aren't humble and they have a huge ego. Because I feel like having 3 kids every day is filled with moments of like, you didn't do that right. You didn't do that correctly.
It's a constant reminder of you're not perfect.
You're not doing this well. You're not like, you are, but like, I think the second I'm like, dude, I got this. It's like, what do you have? You want to talk about that?
Yeah, no, definitely. The kids always remind you of, you're not perfect, and they humble you quick because they call you out on everything.
Yeah, and they're right. That's what sucks. Is they're right.
That's the worst part. Yeah, and sometimes I wish I could be as honest as kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because it is kind of nice to be like, oh, yeah, I should go comb my hair or brush my teeth, or maybe I should do that.
Yeah,
or maybe I am gaining a little weight. Because I haven't had that issue. I've actually lost a lot of weight lately, but man, I tell you, kids, we were with my dad, and my dad looks a little round.
Okay,
so
yeah.
The girls were like, "You look a little round. You look a little chubby. Are you overweight?" And my dad's like,
"Damn."
Yeah. So they're super honest. I love it, but at the same time, sometimes I'm like, you know what? I think I just bought you some gifts. I don't think you should be saying that kind of stuff. But I do love how honest kids are. I wish that would translate into adulthood.
Yep. Well, it's also fun because like you then have to teach like your so I have 3 kids. I have a 10-year-old daughter, 8-year-old daughter, and 4-year-old son. And yeah, the 10-year-old daughter is straight up at that phase of just calling it like it is. And you're like, okay, your point is correct. Now let's talk method. Let's talk messaging. Because you just looking at your sister and saying, you're messy or you were gross when you did this. That if I said that to you, how would you feel? I'd feel bad. Okay. So that's why your sister isn't talking to you and she's in the other room right now. We'll figure this out. But like teaching tact is like, then you have to assess how good you are at being tactful. And you're like, oh, not every day.
Yeah. It's and that's another reason why I like being a parent is every day is different. It doesn't matter. Like, for example, this morning, I was grumpy bear this morning.
Yeah.
I woke up and I don't know what happened, but I was just like,
not feeling
today's not my day. I think it was the coffee, really. I didn't have any coffee. But yeah, it's like every day is different. And it's kind of exciting, but also at the same time, super scary. Because it's like, all right, what version of my daughter am I getting today? Or what version of my son am I getting today?
Yep. Well, I mean, hopefully just like, I hope anyone who has kids just is aware of how much more grace they need to give themselves, or just that reality. Like, yeah, you have a newborn and it's like, okay, who's this kid this hour? Because like, I can usually predict who I'm going to be for the day, but like a newborn is like, a whirlwind of like, oh my gosh, I got this kid to fall asleep. They fell asleep on me. This is really sweet. 20 minutes later, they're screaming in my face and everything I do makes it worse. And you're like, that's whiplash.
Yeah.
I'm chill. I'm not that chill.
Yeah. That's the old 360 right there. That's or 180.
Yeah, no, you can't. Well, sometimes it is a 360 because the kids sleeping on you sweet, then they wake up screaming, and then they fall back asleep, and you're like, what just happened? Are
Oh
we
yeah,
good?
yeah. Oh, I miss sometimes I miss those days, the newborn days, because
Yeah,
man, I would say 8 out of 10 times it was super sweet moments, but there was those
yeah.
moments where like, oh, I remember one time I woke up when my son was born, and I literally cried. I was like, just let me go to sleep, just let me go to
I
sleep,
can't do this today, man.
because yeah, it was absolutely horrible. But that was probably 2 weeks into it.
Hmm.
And then after that, my son was probably one of the best kids or babies around because he went to bed. He wasn't really colicky.
Hmm.
But yeah, sometimes I do miss those days of like, oh man, babies are awesome. But I do remember like, man, I had to take care, like I had
Uh
to
huh.
pretty much hover over him and, make sure everything was working and he was breathing. And
Yeah.
that was the scary part too, is, I would fall asleep and then wake up like, "Where's my kiddo?" And he was in the bassinet next to the bed. But, um, but yeah, I sometimes, man, I'm like, man, those were the days, man.
Yeah. It's a different set of anxiety because, like, yeah, man, like if you or like you're sitting this like your kid wakes up in the morning, you pick him up, you try to give your wife or partner a break, and then like you realize you're sitting in the chair and you're nodding off, and you're like, "Do I kill my kid if I fall asleep right now?" And that's a
Yeah,
unique level of anxiety to hold.
it is. It is. It is. I would say that's expert level anxiety because it's if it happened, it would be a total accident. But man, I wouldn't be
Hmm.
able to live with myself. I'd be like,
I
man,
Yep. I don't know how you do that. I had a good moment of like kids being super honest this morning. I think it's funny sometimes to ask your kid questions just to see how they respond. So this morning, I asked my son, who's 4 on the way to pre-K, like, all right, who do you like more? Do you like me or mommy more? Knowing he'd say mommy. He's like, I like mommy more. And I was like, okay, why do you like mommy more? And he's like, because you fart sometimes.
yeah,
And I'm,
that's awesome.
and I'm like, not that, like, tell me. Okay. Oh, okay. So, and your mom never farts. Like, I think 4-year-old is a hilarious age because like, that's the storytelling he's doing. He's like, well, you fart. And I'm like, you fart? Man, I'm
Yeah,
like, if this is my argument today, that's cool. That's fine. That's a
yeah.
good argument.
That's a win, that's a win, that's a win. I love it. We kinda had a similar situation this morning. One of our daughters, tooted,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the other one was like, "Oh my god, you just farted." It's like, "Oh, Jesus." It's so funny. One is she's like a princess.
Hmm.
She's all about her looks and cares, like, she coordinates her clothes, and the other one's more like uh, I don't know if you could correctly use this term now, but she's like a tomboy. She doesn't care what anybody thinks. She also has autism,
Okay.
um, and the other one has ADHD, so those 2 together are hilarious because when they get in their zones, it's like,
Yeah.
man, it's like a comedy skit,
That's awesome.
but yeah, they always have that moment of honesty with, like, "You just farted gross," or it's so funny. Her name is Sky. We call her
Hmm.
Tootie for that reason, right? But she is, like, funny. She doesn't care about anything. She doesn't care about anybody, like what people think of her, and I absolutely wanna live my life that way because
Yeah.
she's so cool. And the other one, Lois, she's a princess. She just loves
Hmm.
coordinating clothes. She cares what she looks. She always has bows and ribbons in her hair. She's
Yep.
she's a girly girl.
Yep.
And she's funny because she loves everything that I like, the food that I love, she's, like,
Yeah.
obsessed with. And so we bond in that way, right? So we bond with food and, activities. We
Hmm.
we like the same kind of activities. But Sky and I are, like, we bonded the first time I met her because 'cause they're biologically not mine,
Okay.
but the first time we met, like, we were just like this.
Hmm.
And she's just so sweet and so funny, but I just love how carefree she is.
That's cool.
So absolutely does not care. She'll tell, and she is super honest. So, like, she'll
Yeah.
tell you, like, I was eating something. Oh, I was eating a cheeseburger from a local place out here in College Station,
Yeah.
and it was like super greasy.
Yeah.
Uh, well, I don't know what we were doing, but she came over to me and she was gonna give me a hug, and she goes, "Oh my God, your hands are so gross. I can't even touch you right now." I was like, "Oh yeah, definitely.
You're not
Sorry."
wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're not. But there's a different way to go about saying that.
Like, hey man, I want to give you a hug. Can you wipe your hands first? Because I don't want to get acne
Yeah,
immediately from touching.
yeah. I don't want to get that. What is it? Preteen acne
Yeah,
from
because of your
giving you a hug.
diet.
Yeah, you jerk.
Yeah, jerk. So do you have two stepdaughters then?
Yeah. So I have two stepdaughters, and then I have a biological son. My
Cool.
son is 6.
Cool.
And they just turned 7 in January. So the
Okay.
girls are 7 and my son is 6.
Are they twins?
They are twins. Yeah, they're paternal
Cool.
twins. Yeah,
Nice.
so you wouldn't be able to tell that they're twins if you look at them,
Mm-hmm.
because one, Sky, is super tiny. And Lois is a little bit taller, and she looks more like her mom than anything. And then it's funny because Sky looks like me. So when we
Weird.
go out,
Yeah.
people think like I'm their biological dad, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it's really cool. I don't mind that.
That's helpful.
But yeah, no, really, because it's, if you go out in public, I don't know if you're friends with anybody that's like a step parent or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that can get really weird. Like if you go out in public and they don't acknowledge you as such, they just call you like by your name. Like the girls call me Poppa Brian.
Yeah.
My girlfriend told them like early on, like just call him Poppa Brian. So when you're out in public, people
Yes.
know he's not like a stranger,
Yep.
and he's with you. He's your parent. So that is great. And she's a BCBA. So she trains the RBTs with kids that have autism. So
Okay.
she overlooks the the trainers that train kids how to like live with autism and
Yeah.
how to
Yeah.
like regulate how they feel and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's crazy how we found each other, because we both have the very similar backgrounds in the sense that we have a kid with autism.
Yeah.
We both came from not such great marriages,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's amazing how the world works in that way.
It is. It is. I talked to a dad who he adopted his daughter, and yeah, he would
Cool.
talk about that of like, because she was like 3 or 4, I think, whenever we would hang out. And yeah, like being at the playground and being like, "Hello, my daughter. You're so, like almost over enunciating,
Yeah,
like I am here and this is my child." Because yeah, whenever you're the dad whenever you're a man on a playground, like you do want to be like, "Hey, by the way, I have a purpose here. I'm not just here
yeah,
looking at kids." Like, ugh,
yeah.
just don't call the cops on me. I'm trying to be a decent dad. Like, please.
Yeah, when I took them to Chick-fil-A once, and I literally did that. Because we usually go to Chick-fil-A every once in a while for the kids to go play and get
Yeah.
out all their energy, especially
Yep.
because I'm in College Station, Texas. In Texas in the summer, it gets absolutely disgustingly hot.
Yep.
So
Hmm.
going outside is almost not an option
Yeah, it's
sometimes.
dangerous. It's literally
Yeah.
dangerous.
So we'll go to Chick-fil-A. I took them to Chick-fil-A once last summer, and I loud capped it. I was like, "Hey girls, Papa Brian is gonna sit right here. You girls go play. I'll come get you when the food is ready.
Because I am
Papa
Papa
Brian loves
Brian.
you. Papa Brian loves you. If you need anything, I'm gonna be right here." And I like looked around like, "Hey, you hear that? Yeah,
You hear
I'm
that?
here because I'm not a
And then you
creep."
have the immediate insecurity of like, am I selling this too hard though?
Yeah,
Are people gonna be like, actually, that dude's way too eager to say these are his
yeah,
kids. You see what's
it,
happening here?
yeah. This is kind of strange. So you're what's that saying? You're damned if you do, damned if you
Damn if you
don't.
do. Don't you know? And the reality is most people aren't even noticing you're there. That's the reality of life.
That's the sad part of life. Is you are 100% correct. People could care less.
They don't care.
Which is also another sad part about the world, is like we're so immersed in our own universe that
Yeah.
sometimes we don't even look around us, which lately I've noticed myself looking around more, because it's like,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't trust everything. And I would much rather be over prepared than
Yeah.
underprepared in a situation like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I always watch my surroundings, because
Hmm.
never know.
Yep, that's where my anxiety lies also. It's just like, all right, where's the exit? Who's around? What's
Yeah.
not what's the threat level because that's way too intense sounding. But like what if stuff goes wrong? How wrong can it go in this room right now?
Yeah. Is there any eeriness around? Do I
Yeah,
have,
yeah, what's the
is,
vibe? What's the yeah.
yeah, is the hair standing up on the back of my neck? Why is
Yeah.
that standing up on the back of my neck? Yeah. But I'm pretty, I'm pretty good about vibes. I'm a vibe guy. So if I
Same.
get
Yep.
good vibes or if I get any eerie, I usually go, let's go somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. Yep. Like,
Cause
let's sit one table over. I think I saw a
yeah,
different playground over here. Let's go over there.
yeah. We're not going to go play outside today. We'll just play inside. I'll let you ride your bikes inside today. You'll
Yeah,
be
yeah,
good.
yeah.
You'll be fine.
Having kids with like autism, can you tell me like where they are like on the spectrum? Are they pretty like verbal and everything? Because I feel like the range of autism is pretty wide. What's your experience like raising kids with autism?
Yeah, no, that's great. So Sky is high functioning.
Okay.
Is she more, her like autism is more along the lines of like OCD. So if
Okay.
things
Yeah.
aren't the way she normally does it, or if you change anything, she kind of, has a meltdown. But she's getting really good about calming herself down and telling us how she feels.
That's
So
great.
with her, it's amazing. Like she's really good, and that's all attributed to her mom
Mm-hmm.
catching it at young and then working with her since she was like 2.
Yeah.
So that's really good. My son is he's he's up there.
Okay.
He's verbal, but he doesn't talk in sentences. He talks in phrases.
Okay.
But he's getting a lot better lately, probably within like the last month and a half.
Okay.
He's been talking a lot more in phrases, which is good because he's um cognizant of what we're doing and he's able to,
Mm-hmm.
like, I took him to Chuck E. Cheese Sunday,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Let's go play Sonic. Let's go play Space Invaders." And then he'll be like, I'll be like, "Hey, let's call Grandma, Grandpa." He'd be like, "Let's call Grandma, Grandpa."
Yeah.
I love Grandma, Grandpa. So
That's
he's
sweet.
starting to come. Yeah, it's amazing to see where he is from where he was.
Yeah.
And that too is attributed to my ex helping him. He goes
Yeah.
to this place called One of the Kids, which is like it's not a school, but it's kind of like a ABA therapy
Mm-hmm.
place. So they're giving him a lot of help. He does swimming lessons there. He does a lot of activities as well. But yeah, he when we first got diagnosed, like didn't eat. Like he only ate like
Yeah.
dinosaur nuggets. And still to this day,
Yeah.
he only eats a few items. Like he
Yep.
doesn't eat everything.
Yeah.
His mom is really good about giving him vitamins,
That's great.
gummies, so
Yeah.
he gets all the nutrition that he needs.
Yeah.
Food wise, he's super picky, and I'm picky too, which is funny thinking about
Yeah.
it. Um, but I'm like, I don't think I was ever that bad.
Yeah.
I
Well, because then it's like, I think because I have I have a cousin who's autistic, and he's luckily adventurous with eating. And he's like my age. But like I remember whenever my parents told me one of the phrases he would say a lot is it's the question asking was always very interesting with him because he wouldn't say, "Can I have a drink?" He would say, "Would you like a drink?" Because that's how he knew he would get a drink. Usually, was people would ask him, "Would you like a drink?" So he'd walk up to my parents, and be like, "Would you like a drink?" And they'd be like, "No, I'm good." And then they'd be like, "Oh, you're asking for a drink." So like
yeah.
it's its own communication style that you have to like learn, and it's really cool and really awesome once you learn it. But like you just have to know how to adapt to it to some extent.
Well, yeah, 100%. And if you don't have experience in it, it can be kind of daunting and kind of scary because from my experience, when kids have meltdowns, it's because they can't communicate and they
Usually,
want to
yep,
talk and they want to, want to be a part of everything, but they can't.
yep,
So that's usually when you see like the meltdowns.
yep,
And and luckily, my kiddo Jackson he doesn't really have meltdowns, and if he does, it's pretty minimal.
yeah.
But I'll tell you what, he does throw himself on the floor a lot, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. But my girlfriend has taught me, like, when he does it, just walk away. She's like, "All right, Jackson, we're going. See ya." And then he'll be like, "Oh, I gotta get up," and he'll eventually get up. Like we go to Chuck E. Cheese a lot because they do I don't know if you're aware. I think they do it at all of them, but
Yeah.
the first Sunday of the month they have sensory early
Oh, I didn't know
access.
that.
So like they normally open up at 11.
Yeah.
But on the first Sundays, they open up at 9. So if you have any
Yeah.
sensory needs, you can go so it's not super loud and
That's
chaotic and
awesome.
packed.
That's really cool.
It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Every chance I get, I usually go every Sunday with him. And we all went one week, and he did that. He, like, didn't wanna leave, and he threw himself on the ground, and Liz, my girlfriend, was like, "All right, Jackson, we're out of here. See ya." And then he, like, looked around for a minute, and he got up. It was pretty funny to see, but,
That's awesome.
yeah, he's doing really good, though. I'm really impressed with, um, his improvement and his progress, so
Yeah.
I'm excited to c continue to see it.
That's awesome. I know, like, I think the whole world of like autism spectrum, all of that is really cool just because of like how much more inclusive space there are. Like in Nashville, there were, which I live in Colorado now, as I've told you before, there were a couple gyms that were specific to that. Like they were called, I think, We Rock the Spectrum or Rock the Spectrum gyms, in which
That's
it's
cool.
just all focused on how to have an inclusive play space because kids need to play. They need to have the ability to play. And yeah, that's awesome. I'll have to check. We live closer to Chuck E. Cheese, so I'm just intrigued now to see if they do that because, yeah, man, that's huge. Like for your son to be able to go to a play place and not be overwhelmed, to not be overstimulated, and be able to act like to be able to enjoy the place is like awesome and should be
Yeah.
promoted if they do that at all of them.
Yeah, 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 and then so how I found out about that, before I got back into music, I was
Hmm.
working at a tech company as a account executive, and one of my accounts was Chuck E. Cheese.
Cool.
So I did a bunch of research on it, and I was like, "You guys have Sensory?" Like, they were about to roll out a Sensory program. I was like, "That is so cool." And I told
Yeah.
him, I told the, chief technology officer, I was like, "Man, my kid has autism. I didn't know about this. This is great."
Yeah.
And I've been going for about 2 years now.
Cool. Yeah.
It's really awesome.
That's.
I wish there would be more companies that would do stuff like that.
Hmm.
Uh, I know it's definitely, it's helped him a lot because he's able to, I mean, he loves video games first and foremost. He
Hmm.
absolutely loves them. And now he gets to go and actually physically play them instead of playing them on his iPad. He can
Yeah.
actually go
Yeah.
play like the arcade and stuff. But, it's wishful thinking for me to be like, "Man, I wish more companies did that," because I can't imagine how hard it would be to, well, especially now with, companies that are dealing with staffing issues or
Yeah.
dealing with,
Yep.
they're just thankful to open their doors, like, you
Correct.
know,
Yes.
to add on another,
Yeah.
additive to that would be pretty mind-blowing or mind-crushing for
Yeah.
some business owners. So,
Yeah.
I just wish that it would be something that was more, I don't know,
Correct.
um
Well, I mean,
Per
because the
every
reality,
day, yeah.
yeah, the reality is that, like, Chuck E. Cheese is already like a you have disposable income, like type of space.
Yeah, yeah,
So, so
100%.
then you are trying to figure out, like, okay, Chuck E. Cheese, now they have to open up 2 hours early or whatever than they normally would, and then staff it, and it still has to be profitable to them. So then they've got to put more marketing. No, like, I also look at stuff from a business standpoint. It's like, oh, well, if you want more businesses to do that, it has to be financially worth it for them to do it. Usually, is how it works. So
Yeah,
if you already are in Chuck E. Cheese's, people have disposable income and they come here or they have birthday parties. So that's the main reason to go there in my mind. So that's not a guarantee. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you're already trying to figure out how do we get people to come into our doors at all, and but not, yeah, it's those, yeah, it's this is not a business podcast. This is a father podcast.
Oh, yeah, 100%, and I tell you, once you have a kid, things change, your
Yeah.
priorities change, and it's there's a wrench thrown into it when you have complications, or not
Hmm.
complications, but diagnosis like that. So
Correct.
it's
Yeah.
it's really cool to be able to go in there. For example, Sunday I went there, and it's really cool to see families in there, and then
Yeah.
be like, look, I looked over to dad, and I was like,
You got, yeah,
"You're
the
doing
head
good."
nod. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome.
because his kid, they were doing skeet ball. Remember
Hmm.
skeet ball?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he got the 5,000 one,
Yeah, the
like the
middle one?
really
Yeah,
hard
dude, I
one.
can't
I was
get
like,
that one. Yeah.
I know, I was like, "Man, this is awesome," and his kid was just going crazy, and I was like, "That's awesome. I love seeing
That's
that."
so sweet. Well, because there's such like pure joy to it. There's such a pure, like, I did this and I can do this, that like makes me tear up to think about. Cause like, like, a lot of our world is not made for people with disabilities. So whenever
But yeah.
people who aren't a part of the normal air quotations are able to find a spot in which they're able to succeed at something they didn't think should succeed at, like that human spirit, that beauty is just like, that makes me teary eyed.
Yeah, yeah. There's also this park in Austin. So my son lives in Austin with his mom,
Hmm.
and there's this park. It's called Play for All Park.
Hmm.
So it's like an like it's a gated in park. It's such a awesome. It's a really big space too.
Yeah.
We go there usually when it's cooler out,
Hmm.
and that's another bonding place for adults, not to mention for the kiddos as well. So it's just cool to actually not feel alone in
Hmm.
that aspect and be like, man, there's other kids out here, there's other adults. And my son, his birthday was in October, and his mom had a baby, so they had to wait to have his birthday party. So they ended
Okay.
up having birthday parties, and it was literally every kid in his class, like from just one of the kids.
Hmm.
And it was so fun, like watching them like STEM. When I see kids STEM, I just some like not normal people, but people that don't have experience with autism go,
Yeah.
"What the heck are they doing?" I'm
Hmm.
like, "They
Yep.
are living their life. They are living their dream."
Yep.
But yeah, so it's I don't know. I love it. It was super scary at first, like
Absolutely.
to the point where I had like a mental breakdown.
Hmm.
Like it was to that point, and I actually had to go to like therapy and like rehab for it. Like it was like mental. I was at Apple. I used to work at Apple,
Okay.
and that was one of the best parts about working at Apple is they're totally cool with like mental health and
Yeah.
all that. So I was able to take 2 months off of work
Oh,
and
awesome. Yeah.
get myself right. So I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to do that because if I didn't, I, w- I had postpartum depression,
Did you?
like
Okay.
real
Yeah.
bad. And a lot of people don't understand that men can get that.
They don't for some reason.
And I had it big time because I used to be like, um, the life of the party. I used to be fun. And then
Mhm.
I just got real reclusive. And then, what do you call it? COVID hit.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
you're stuck
Then
in
the
the house.
opportunities the opportunities to be even more reclusive, isolate yourself more. Yeah. We had our 3rd kid in 2021, and but if I would've had our 1st kid in 20 early even tw early 2021, like, 'cause it's, the best way now to put it is, like, when you have a kid, your identity just gets shattered. So, like, you have to figure out who you are now, you have to figure out your relationship with your partner, like, almost everything, you suddenly have to look up and be like, "Wait, who am I?" And, like, whatever definition you thought you'd have of being a dad, you now have to look up and be like, "Wait, but really, who am I really? What dad am I really?" And
Yeah.
to add a global pandemic, to add isolation to all that is understandable why, if you assume you should process that on your own and you would know how to process that on your own, is an unrealistic expectation to have for yourself.
Oh, yeah. Especially, nobody, I don't think, I mean, I'm not a history buff, but I don't think there's ever been a worldwide pandemic like
Yeah,
that that I'm aware of.
yeah. Maybe like the flu in like 1918 was really massive, but like that's about it. That's only thing that comes to mind for me. Yeah, for global, for full
Yeah.
scale. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so nobody knew really how to handle it.
Hmm. Yep.
But yeah, it was that was a wild time. It's been a wild 5 or 6 years now,
Yeah.
but yeah, when it first started, I was like, "Geez, that was a mess."
Yeah. Yeah, well, like, in my mind, like, a lot of life is like, here's the expectation I had for myself. Here's the expectation of how I thought this would go. And then there's reality. And so, like, and then you have to deal with reality. And like, that takes time. That takes time to process. It takes time for you to catch up to be like, okay, this isn't, that's like, especially if you have a kid with autism, the type of dad you thought you were going to be versus the dad you need to be are different fathers. And I'm
Yeah.
grateful you were able to take the time to be like, okay, that's not the dad I'm going to be. So, but which dad am I going to be? Because there's still room here for me to love my child, to step up and to show my kid that he has a good dad and to be a dad to him. but it's just not what I thought it was. And I need some time to recalibrate. And then I'll do it. I'll step up. I'll do all the stuff. But like, I'm going to need some transition time to know what I actually need to be here.
Yeah, 100%. And it's, I don't know, I'm thankful for the resources I had because um, if I didn't, like, for example, like healthcare and mental, health go hand in hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'll tell you, that was one of the best parts about working at Apple is they had like the best health benefits on the planet. Mm. And if I didn't have those resources, I don't think I would have been able
Mm-hmm.
to recover
Yep.
nearly the way I did and not worry about my job. Like that was another thing. Like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to worry about my job missing that
Yeah.
many times. I used to work, I mean, not to kind of go back through my work history, but I used
Yeah.
to work
Yeah.
at Walgreens back in like 2007. I was a manager.
Yeah.
And if you missed a day, they'd be like, "What are you doing?
Dude.
Where you at?
Yeah.
Where you at?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got to be here. You got to be
Yeah.
here." I'm like, "I'm literally dying. I'm in the hospital. I'm dying.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
What do you want?" Like, well,
Yeah.
if you're not
I
here,
got in
you're
a
not here
car. I
tomorrow.
got in a car wreck. Like, what do you like? You guys want me to
Yeah.
roll the broken car into the parking lot?
Oh, and to talk about paid time off was laughable to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just, but going back to
Yeah. Yeah.
the health and stuff, it's just nice to know that my job wasn't at risk and they really wanted me to get better. So it's like, okay, this is great. And I could focus on me, focus on my family. But yeah, that was a hard year. That was a real hard year.
It would be that I am grateful that you had the resources to be able to figure out what type of dad and person you needed to be for your son and for your family. Because
Thank you.
as we're already hinting at, it's not a guarantee. I think I wish it was more normal. I wish it was funded. And I wish it was something that wasn't a question of, do I have the ability to go make sure my headspace is correct? Because then I'm going to be not better because that's a value, but I'm going to be more aligned with who I want to be going forward.
Yeah, yeah. And it's crazy. Like there's a lot of people out there that don't believe in, bipolar or, anything like that. And I'll be
Yeah.
honest, I have bipolar. That's what happened.
Yeah.
And with meds and therapy, like you're good, you're in line
Mhm.
with who you want
Yep.
to be or who I want to be at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But there are people out there that don't believe in that.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's like
This shit isn't
it's not
normal. This.
yeah,
Yeah.
this isn't a myth. This
Yeah.
isn't Final Fantasy. This isn't a video
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Like this is real. Like this is legit.
Yep.
And but yeah, I'm grateful myself. And
Hmm.
if anybody ever needs to chat, like I'm always down to
Yeah.
have a conversation because I'll tell you
Yep.
what, you're not alone.
Yep. And it's a journey. Like from anyone I know who has needed to go to therapy, get on some meds because of how they're wired. Honestly, it's a journey to figure it out. You don't just wake up one day and you're like, oh, I guess I'm bipolar. Like it takes time.
Yeah.
You got to have some experiences with it. You got to find a therapist in which you like align with them and stuff. And like it's a whole process to
But
find
yeah.
out. Like, oh, by the way, what's my med? What's the med that works for me? What are the side effects of the med? Like
So
that's a year. Yeah.
that's the key is finding the med that works for you because
Mm-hmm.
my primary care physician just randomly gave me a
Yep.
prescription because I was
Mm-hmm.
depressed.
Yep.
And that's what snowballed me into finding out that I was bipolar
The
because it threw
journey.
me yeah, yeah, yeah. It threw me into a mania that was insane. Like, and that's the other thing too. I've been, ever since that happened, anytime a doctor tries to prescribe me something new, I'm like, I don't know about that. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
so nervous
yeah. Mhm.
because it was, that was a scary situation.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's the journey. The journey is your own,
yeah,
but if anybody ever needs to talk,
yeah,
find somebody that can talk. And if anybody watching this down the road wants to reach out, I'm always down to have a conversation. I love
yeah,
talking to people. I love meeting new people.
yeah. Nice. Well, before I start wrapping up in the next like 10, 15, let's talk about like your job and stuff. Cause I know you because what is your actual like job now? Cause you always are like messaging about bands and stuff and like people you're trying to
Yeah.
promote. So tell me about that
Yeah.
world for you.
Yeah, definitely. So I started a band development company called Jet Fuel Artistry. And I used to be in the business back like early 2000s, mid 2010s.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have friends that are in the business now, and they're doing really well for themselves. And I kind of kick myself. If I would have stayed with it, I'd probably be up there with them. But I to kind of take you down that journey, I worked for Apple, left Apple to further my career. I got laid off within 5 months. Got another job at a startup company and got laid off in 3 months. So within like a 8 to 9 month span, I got laid off twice.
Dude.
My girlfriend goes, "You love music. Why don't you get back into it?" And I was like, "I do." And she's like, "You're always going to shows. You're always hanging out with your friends. Why don't you go do it?" And I was like, "Ah, man, I will. Yeah, it's okay."
Mm-hmm.
So I started a journey back in July, and I just look, I watch podcasts. I look at playlists and stuff, and I'm like, okay, I hear bands, and I'm like, oh, they got something. That sounds hooky to me. That sounds catchy to me. And then I kind of follow them for a little bit, and then I reach out and I'm like, hey, what's your guys' situation? And I kind of, develop a relationship. But I develop them, so I help them get on podcasts like this, right?
Yeah.
And then I help them get on playlists. I help them get, shows. I book them tours.
Cool.
I help get them on tours, do showcases for labels, all that fun stuff. And I use everything that I've learned from when I was in the business before to when I was at Apple, getting over or getting past gatekeepers. It's not easy, but I've gotten to a point where I'm like, okay, if you say no, why are you saying no?
Yeah.
I like people too, so I try to align with anybody I talk to. So yeah, it's awesome. It's fun. I think 7 bands I'm working with right now.
Yeah.
And it is going awesome.
That's great.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Every day is a new day. I'll wake up with 20 or 30 emails. I'll wake up with like 40 freaking Instagram messages or notifications. And trying to keep up with that is like a full-time job in its own, right?
Yeah.
My girlfriend laughs at me because I'm always on my phone now. She's like, "Why are you always on your phone?" I'm like, "Well, I have business to attend to."
Yeah.
I work with. Have you ever heard of Gina Fontanella?
Yeah, I've seen her stuff before online. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm helping her out, and she's in LA, so she's in LA time.
Yeah.
So talking to people that are in LA, sometimes I have to talk at like 9 o'clock my time.
Huh? Yep.
So it's like sometimes it calls for a late night call, but and then I got people in Jersey as well. So sometimes my calls are super early. It's you kind of got to go with the time zone, but it's a lot of fun. It's cool. I tell people that I can't promise them the world. I can't and I won't. But what I will do is get you in front of the people that I know. And your music and your the music will talk for itself, but also it's got to be a timing thing.
Yeah.
And a little bit of luck, a little sprinkle of luck, but it's fun. And going into it with that mindset and not promising the world has helped me as much as the bands I work with. Just realize like, oh, okay, we're just gonna go in this together. He has passion, we have passion. Let's collaborate and see what we can do. And so far, man, it's really good. I got Lift the Curse. We got a we're on a music festival in November in Baltimore.
Yeah.
If the festival slip in my mind, but we're gonna be playing shows up to it and around it. And they played a show right before Christmas in Austin that was sold out. Like
hell yeah,
they're doing good, man. They're doing good. Further north, I just got them. That's how I got in touch with Gina Fontanella. Because they wanted to play her tour, and I reached out and they're like, yeah, let's have them open. And I was like, oh, sweet. Sometimes it's funny how easy it is, and sometimes it's super hard. Like,
it's great.
Man, I have to go through so many hoops. But
it's true, man.
But dude, it's insane. But yeah, so they're doing great. They're going to do a Pacific Northwest run in April. They just announced Turn 2. I booked them a weekender in May, so they're promoting their EP that's coming out in June. And I got a call later tonight with a record label for that, so I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, that's cool.
We'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. I love meeting people with
Mhm.
the drive and the passion. And it's really frustrating when you meet a band that's super talented, but they don't care to work at
Yeah.
it. They just think everything's going to come to them. And it's luckily I haven't really met too many of those this run, but when I did it back in the day, that's like all it was.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I was out flyering
Dude,
shows,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
cars.
Street team. You're a real
Yeah,
street team. Yeah.
yeah. I literally was the head of the street team, and I did shows in Salt Lake City, so I ran shows with
Mhm.
a company called The Collective
Okay.
back in 2009, 2010, and I literally was jack of all trades. I would help bands load in. I would backline. I would stage manage. I would help the
Dude.
lighting guy, the audio dude. I would make sure the door guy was clicking right, making sure we had
Mm.
the number was correct.
Yeah, man.
And then at the end of the night, I was paying the bands
Yeah.
and then helping them load out.
Yeah.
Like I was doing everything.
That's a lot, man.
And dude, yeah. And if you look at it, like as far as like what I got paid pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
But it was such a great experience.
Yeah.
And to the point now, I'm friends with some of those bands that, like, I'm still friends with Seosin,
That's
like
cool. Yeah.
Bo Purcell, and I talk to him like once a month, and to still have those friendships is worth not getting paid very much back in the day.
Well, also, I'm assuming you're in your 20s also whenever you work that job.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was,
So that also, like, yeah, you're not going to do that job at 38, 39.
No,
At 25, perfect job for a 25-year-old, but
yeah,
not so
and
much anymore.
yeah, I couldn't even do that if I wanted to now.
No.
Like physically, I couldn't because
Physically, no. Like, my back hurts immediately thinking about loading a bass amp. Like, I'm good.
yeah,
Like,
I got out of bed Saturday and I thought I broke my back. I was like, oh,
yeah.
because I swung my legs too fast. Like what?
Oh,
Who in the
God.
hell?
I sat
What
up
am I
too
ma-
quickly. I sat up
Yeah,
too quickly and I pulled a muscle. I'm at that age now.
yeah. And also, like when you bend down and stand up too quick, it's
Dude,
like,
don't do that. What are you doing?
yeah,
You
you gotta grab
don't,
on. You gotta grab onto something.
don't hinge at the waist either, man. You got to squat. You got to,
Yeah. Use your legs.
got to use some
I
legs.
love it.
That's cool though. I think in all areas of life with like even medicine or music stuff, like I want like a guide because you are going to run into problems. You are going to run into something where it's like, hey, this person's telling you no. And like, I know it's really easy to get you down. It's really easy to be like, oh man, they don't like my stuff. And if you're there and you're like, actually, here's some other options. Here's what else we got. Then like you can keep momentum going. You can keep energy going. But like, if you don't know the path, if you don't know what else is in front of you or what can be in front of you, then it is really heavy and it feels freaking awful.
Yeah. And to that point, I mean, let's just use Warped Tour right now, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's thousands and thousands of bands trying to get on 5 shows, and they're picking one band per
Yeah.
show. Like
Yeah.
that's
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 competition, man.
that's competition. That's like you got to go into it knowing, hey, there's thousands of bands. We are solid,
Yeah.
and you might be a better band,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know how that works. And I've been doing this since 2003, 2004.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't even know how it works.
Yep.
It's the luck of the draw, and I mean, if you're picked, that's great.
Yep.
But you gotta do it, because if you don't do it, then you're definitely not gonna get picked first and
Guaranteed.
foremost.
Guaranteed to not be picked. Yeah.
But you gotta go with it and you gotta go into it with certain expectations.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna do it. If we get picked, awesome. If we don't, we're
Yeah.
just gonna get that much more exposure being in this contest.
Yep.
And then utilize that for growth. Like, where are you? Like, you're finding new fans because
Yeah.
people are going to be clicking and checking your band out. So that's the way that's what I'm actually telling the bands I work with. Just do it. If you get picked, awesome. If you don't, that's okay. It doesn't mean you're not bad, or doesn't mean that you're not good. It doesn't mean that you're a horrible band. It just means now's not your time. And that's what I use a lot. Is timing's everything.
It is, man.
It might be your time, it might not, but I'll tell you what, just because you're told no doesn't mean it's no forever. It's just no right now.
Yep.
So,
And like so much of it is like vibe. And I hate using phrases like that, but it's like,
yeah,
well, what was the vibe whenever you performed? Where was your headspace? And then that then adds to a ton of anxiety to the band. Cause like, it is like very much like the iron's hot. We got to strike. What if this was our one performance? It's like a kid playing high school football, trying to perform for like scouts and stuff. It's like, yeah, man, that might have been your one chance. Who knows? But also in a year from now, everything might be completely different. So like, what's the show in front of you? How do you show up for it and do that?
Well, I'm going to tell you the story real quick. We have a
Yeah, please
second.
do. Yeah.
So further north, they invite me to Austin to go see them live to see if I like their performance live before we start working together. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll come out. They had the most technical difficulties that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Everything just wasn't working right for them.
Mm-hmm.
Coolest part about that story, nobody in the crowd that had no music background, just a fan of music, could tell that they were having issues.
Yeah.
If you knew, like, if you were like a musician or you have the backstory
that pedal board's
of music,
broken. Yeah.
Or he's not getting a signal. He's not getting a signal. He can't hear it.
His in-ears aren't working. Yeah, all that stuff.
So they got off stage, and the first thing they were so apologetic. They're, oh my God, we're so embarrassed. I'm like, no, I needed to see that, because I'll tell you what, you guys handled that with grace. Nobody knew that you guys had issues. So that tells me you can handle adversity when you're on the road or when you're playing a show. So I needed to see that. It would be nice to see you play a flawless set. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But it's how you deal with ambiguity is how I want to work with you. Like, how I'm going to tell if I'm going to work with you or not. Because I told them, I was like, if that was my band back in like 2004, when I was in a band, we would have just walked off stage and that was it. Because that, like, I'm not
playing
technical.
in these conditions.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. Yeah.
Yeah. So I told them, I was like, you guys killed it. Like, I wanted to see that. That was something that was a happy accident.
Yeah.
So,
It's funny, right, though? Because it is like, okay, when you don't wish it, but you are kind of like, so whenever things don't go your way, who are you? Like, who do you become when you don't get your way? I don't want to run into those situations, but I always notice how I am. If I don't get my way, who am I? Who am I in that moment? And am I within my integrity? I guess is the nicest way to put it. Sometimes not.
Yeah, no, and I will admit, this morning I was a grumpy bear. I couldn't help it.
Yep. It
But
happens.
so your true character's based off of how you act in situations that are not ideal.
Correct. It is.
But yeah, no, I just wanted to tell that story because
that's cool, man.
it's
Good
important.
for them. That's great.
Yeah, it's important for anybody, really. Just because things aren't going your way, just make sure you handle it with grace and professionalism, and that would go way further than if you played a flawless set. 'Cause there are musicians and they'll play flawless sets time and time again, but when they have something go wrong, how do they react and how do they act, how do they treat people too?
Yeah, man.
That's a big thing for me. I tell people, I talk to the janitor the same way I talk to like a CEO. It's like, I'm not better than anybody else. We've all, especially me, I've been in every position, right?
Yeah.
So it's, I try to tell people, and it's kind of going back to being a parent, treat people how you want to be treated.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
Pretty much. Hell yeah. Well, I'll start wrapping up just in the interest of time. So how I end every episode is ask every guest a series of 5 questions. And I'm going to change up the first one on you. So I'll start with this one. This is one of my favorite questions to ask parents. What's your least favorite kids show? Like, what's a kids show that you absolutely hate, but your kids were obsessed with?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to say Cocomelon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because I hate it. It's because it was played so much that it's like ingrained in my mind. Like freaking JJ and his dad and his friend. It kind of brings back nightmares when I think about it.
I don't know of any parent who is pro Cocomelon. Like, I don't know anyone who's like, what was a good decision? Cocomelon. Cocomelon feels like a sickness, like a fever that descended upon a family that you all got through.
Yeah. No, that's a great way to put it. That's awesome.
Next question. Do you have a favorite like TV or movie dad or one that comes to mind?
Yeah, that's a good one. My favorite TV dad, as much as it sounds funny or corny, I think Bob Saget in Full House was phenomenal. Given his stand-up comedy, like I don't know. Did you ever see his stand up?
Yes, it's like
Yeah,
The Rock.
it's
I almost wonder if he doubled down on how disgusting of a person he could be because he knew he was fighting against Bobby Tanner
oh
or whatever Tanner. Yeah,
yeah. I think that had to have been it. But I tell you, he was so like awesome and level headed for
yeah,
being a single dad. In that
yep,
situation. Granted, he had help from his brother and
yeah,
Joey.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I think of him. Um, or I think Uncle Phil, man, when I was growing
Mm-hmm.
up, was
Yeah,
such a great dad. Especially that episode.
yeah,
Uh, Will was like, "Why doesn't my dad love me?"
yeah,
Did you see that episode?
yeah. I've
Every time
seen
I
the
watch it,
clip. I've seen that clip. Yeah, no, it's
I cry. I almost cried just talking about it. Like,
yes.
that was such great acting.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching something with the actor James Avery that played him,
Yeah,
and he goes, "I knew at that point he was going to be a star."
yeah,
I was like, "Damn, that's
yeah,
such a," because he's a great actor,
yeah.
James Avery.
Yeah. Well, what's fascinating to me is like I never know if it's like I think social media is fascinating because like I've watched that clip like a million times because you'll see the clip posted on whatever, and like to realize like how impactful the moment that was because you trust me, you're not the first dad on this podcast to mention watching that scene, then revisiting it as an adult on socials and like being teared up and being like because it's inspirational, right? Like whenever you see someone having a breakdown and questioning their worth, I want to be able to step up to look at that person and be like you have so much value that you don't see. You have so much love that you don't even know. And like he communicated in such a like they both communicated both of those energies so beautifully that like how do you not tear up?
Yeah, no, it's like I almost teared up just mentioning it. Just it's so
Yeah,
powerful, man.
yeah.
It's
Because acceptance matters. Knowing you're loved even whenever you feel like you aren't worth loving, freaking matters.
100%. And I mean, we every single person in this world goes through that,
Yeah, man.
regardless
They
if
do.
they're
Yep.
loved always.
Yep.
Like they are loved always, but there
Yep.
are moments in time where you're like, man, I feel like
Am I sure about
nobody
that?
loves me.
Am I
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
this is worth
yeah,
loving?
yeah.
The
You
answer
sure
is
about
yes.
that? Like that?
The answer is yes.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Next question. What's your replacement curse word? Like, or do you just curse?
So I'm sure you're familiar with. I'm sure you're familiar with Chris Farley.
Yeah, of course.
Shiitake mushrooms. I say shiitake or shnikes.
Nikes. Yep.
Shnikes all the time. Shib. I say shib.
Okay.
I say pho, like pho.
Bug.
Yeah, so I say, especially when I'm like texting somebody, I'll just text FUGH, like pho, and I put a lot of H's on there so they know, they emphasize it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So yeah, I would say those are my key
Nice. Love
replacements.
it. Next question. What's like one of your favorite activities or toys that you play with kids or with your kids?
A favorite activity, probably just recently teaching my twin girls how to ride a scooter. That was kind of fun.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah, and teaching is something I love doing.
Yeah.
They gotta skip it for it's not a skip it, but it's like a version of skip it for
Yeah.
their birthday. And for the weekend, because it was the weekend when they got it, like they
Mhm.
first started, they're like, "What is this?" And like it was awful watching them do it because it's like, no, that's not how you do it.
You
They
guys are
would
going to break
literally
your
like,
nose. You're going to fall
yeah,
forward and break your
yeah,
nose.
they would like spin it with their hands. I'm like, no, that's not how
Nope.
you start
No.
it with your hand.
Yeah.
And then I got like literally in 2 days, both girls were just like doing it like they've been doing it for years. So that was
Yeah.
kind of cool to see. I love doing that, playing games. We play Uno.
Yeah. That's cool.
Uno is fun. I love hitting that draw four. Like draw four. I say draw four, baby girl. Bam.
Yeah. Boom.
Here's a reverse. There you go.
Dude, my kids
Love
will
it.
do like whenever someone wins, they'll be like, but who gets to win next? And then that's, I feel
Yeah.
like whenever you do, like everyone does draw fours for like an hour. Like somehow they get reshuffled into the deck and you're sitting there like, I thought this game was going to end 30 minutes ago and I'm still here. Can I just say you win? No?
Yeah, no. Or you get to the point, our girl Sky, she is like the Uno guru. I don't know how she wins, but she wins like literally 9 out of 10 times she wins.
Yeah.
And it's funny to see Lois because Lois is very competitive, and
Yeah.
she goes, "Yeah, but I had the most colors." Like, well, yeah, that's why
I
you
will
lost.
win in this realm. I'll win in
Yeah,
this realm. But have you ever seen someone hold this many cards at once?
yeah, that's one of my favorite things about her. No matter what situation, she always find something like that to say. Like, yeah, well, you won. That's great.
However,
yeah. Do you look this good in a bow? Like, yeah, no. So I win. So
That's awesome.
she's hilarious. Kids in general are funny just because
they are funny.
They don't know better. They just tell you how it is, which is
It's great.
Beautiful.
And then last question, just parenting advice. Like if you had a go-to piece of parenting advice, anything like that.
Something that I'm learning or that I'm doing now is when you get upset, because you will get upset, it's going to happen. Calm down by walking away before doing something that is, irreversible or, saying something you shouldn't. I'm doing a good job about that now is when I get upset, because there are Lois and me are like, we're like the same person. So like she knows how to push my buttons. I know how to push hers. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So when she gets under my skin easily, because like I said, we're like the same person, but I'll just be like, all right, I'm going to walk. I'll tell Liz, I'm like, all right, I'm going to walk away.
Yeah.
I got to walk away. But I would say that. And another thing is let your kids be your kids. Like, don't try to just let them, guide them along the way.
Yeah.
Let them, if they're into arts and crafts, let them do that. If they're into cartoons, let them do that. If they're into video games, let them do that. There's always, nowadays there's ways to make a living doing anything and everything. So if they want to play video games, let them play video games, teach them right and wrong, and just guide them, be there for them whenever they need you.
Yeah. Yep. It's, the reality of like, I might not know what this means or what this looks like, but that doesn't mean that my lack of knowledge and comfort with something shouldn't limit you.
Yeah. Yeah. And then to that point, try to get into what they're into. Like, look into it.
Yeah.
Who knows? You might find something you like.
You might understand the culture they want to be a part of more. And that's beautiful also.
100%.
And then last thing for you is just moment for self-promotion. So like, if you want to find out more about like your artist management website, Instagram, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Instagram is just at Jet Fuel Artistry. And if you want to go to my website, it's www.jetfuelartistry.com. You can learn about my backstory. You can learn about all the musicians that I work with and what's coming up. And just find me on socials. I live on social media. So that's the best way to get a hold of me, or email. I check my email probably 3 times every 30 minutes. It's good.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for being willing to do this. Sincerely, the ability to share a man's story or a father's story about talking about postpartum depression, figuring it out, and figuring out how to center themselves so they can be better for their family as a story I'm so grateful to be able to share. So sincerely, thank you for trusting me. Thank you for being willing to share this story.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me on. It was a lot of fun, and this is great. I'm going to tell anybody and everybody I can about it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That means a lot.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Appreciate it.
You too. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at the Imperfect Dads Podcast. And make sure to give us 5 stars wherever you listen to us. Music, editing, and production is all done by me. Make sure to tune in on Mondays and most Thursdays for new episodes. This podcast is part of the Never Efface Network. Make sure to go to nevereffacenetwork.com to learn more about them.